my name is Abigail, and on this channel I talk about books and things that I'm passionate about, and right now that happens to be my very first read of the year, which is A Love Letter to Whiskey. Before I send you back into time to when I read A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner, I wanted to show you my Goodreads year in books. I will go ahead and pop this up when I can. I read 160 books. 48,980 pages. My shortest book was 29 pages. My longest book was 682. My average book length was 306. My most shelved was The Song of Achilles, which was a reread for me, and the least shelved was Yours Forever. My average rating was 3.4. My highest rated on Goodreads was Inside the World of Big Brother. My first review of the year, I believe this is actually my only review of the year. It's a poor review. Moving on. This is all of the books that I read in 2025 for the most part. I think I'm missing some of them, but Goodreads says that this is what I've read. So this is what I've got. Now I will send you sort of like a recap. I will send you back into time to when I read A Love Letter to Whiskey. This is a second chance romance. It is a right person, wrong time romance, and I chose this to be my very first book of the year because I am told that it will make me feel something, and I wanted to feel something at the very beginning of 2026, set myself up for success with a book that I felt was going to be, if not a 5-star, a really high 4-star. I'll now send you back in a time, and we'll see if my prediction for 4.5 5-star was correct. So I'm not really sure what I want this video to be. I think I want to do a couple New Year's things. I want to at least vlog the time that I have off from work, which is technically only one day because New Year's Day, January 1st, falls on a Thursday. And the weekend is the 3rd and the 4th, and they're like the weekends I normally have off the weekends and January 1st. So I've really only taken off the 2nd, but it would be, oh my God, incredible and amazing to have 4 days off in a row. And I have plans for it. Mostly my plans include vegetating. I do have a very first book of the year that I would like to read. I also might set up my book tracker and my reading tracker and my planner for 2026. And tomorrow I will look at my Goodreads Wrapped thing that they put out. And you know, just kind of New Year's-y stuff. I have a couple videos planned. I have to edit my first, or my best and worst of the year. I also have, oh God, is there something else I have to do? I don't even know. I have a lot that I have to do, but tomorrow I'm gonna sit and fucking vegetate, and I'm so excited for that. I can't even put in words how excited I am to sit down and do nothing for a couple days in a row. I'm just, it's gonna be incredible. But for now, I'm gonna go to sleep, my first sleep of the new year. Happy New Year. 2026 is gonna be our year. I know it. I can feel it in my heart that 2026 is gonna be a good year for me and for you. Good night, and I will see you in a couple hours. I can't say the morning because it's already morning, but I will see you in a couple hours. For you it'll be a second, but I should have recorded it, but I just made a smoothie with some banana, some mango pineapple, and some yogurt. It was pretty good. First smoothie of 2026, not bad. If I'm being so for real, I don't know what happened today. I scrolled on social media quite a bit. I prepared for an upcoming vlog that took a lot of work to get to the point where I knew exactly what books I was going to read, and I inputted that data and I processed that data and I did a tiny bit of recording, but for the most part, today was not a heavy reading day, and I'm really disappointed because I wanted to read the entirety of A Love Letter to Whiskey today, and I just didn't get it done. I didn't even start it. But it's 9, what time is it? Let's see what time it is. It is 9:37. I can probably read for about an hour before I've got to call it. Got my sweet boy right here. He's going to read with me. All right. Let me read a little something before I close my eyes for the night. I wanted to mention the reason that I picked this book is because I heard that it would absolutely tear my heart and soul out. And I heard that it was everybody's like top 5, or, you know, they gave it a 5-star or at least a 4-star. And I wanted a guaranteed win for the first book of the year. So let's dive in. I hate to complain, but I have to do it. They mentioned that they're in South Florida like a lot of times. If I could go back and count the number of times, one time it happened twice on the same page. I'm only on page 41 and I'm low-key sick of it. Also, you like my new jammies? I like them. Also, my kitty cat's here. Yeah, he's so handsome. All right, I'm gonna go back to reading. South Florida was hot in June. You don't say. Everything, and I mean everything, that I have learned about this book told me that it was going to break me and hurt me. And I have to say that it's not going well for me right now. I have already almost teared up twice. This is horrible in the best way. I am on page 246 and I was not prepared for just how badly this would fuck with me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't cried yet, but I feel like I'm going to every second that I touch this book. It just hurts. Also, ignore my hair dryer. I got caught in the rain. I teared up just a handful of times. The book is over, but there's still more to go because Candy Striner wrote like an epilogue in his perspective, so I'm about to dive into that. But this book is 4 stars for me. Ultimately, the ending pissed me off a little bit because how are you gonna end it like that? But I'm hoping that the rest of it will bring it back, like bring it up. Ultimately, it's a pretty good first read of the year. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say something potentially hurtful. I don't think this book is for me. And the reason is because the first nearly 300 pages was the story. And then the next like 160 pages is the same story, but from his perspective. I think this book is meant for somebody who read the original story, loved it so much, and wanted to read from Jamie's perspective. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, for me, it's feeling like I'm reading the same book over again. And so for that reason, I'm not necessarily having a good time with the second portion of this book. I'm hopeful that reading the same book over will not diminish my experience from the first one. I'm pushing through. I've got a little under 100 pages left, right around 80 pages left. So I'm doing what I can to push through. I'm eager for the bonus content that wasn't Jamie's perspective, that isn't going to be a repeat of the almost 300 page book I already read already, but I digress. I have completed this book and it's been some time. I wanted to take some time to evaluate how I felt about this book, and I really wanted to give it a review. If you've been following me, you know that reviews are something that I normally don't do. I would like to get better at it in 2026, and I want to read you what I wrote because it is the best compilation of my thoughts that I have been able to compile about a book in a very long time. So if it sounds like I'm reading right from this, it's because I am. If you are a normal person, it's the type of book you read because the plot and synopsis intrigue you, and you are no stranger to a good cry. If you are someone who bottles their emotions, like myself, it's the type of book you read to see if it'll make you cry, if it can make you feel, poke a hole and let some emotion drain out. As your resident emotion bottler, I am here to tell you it worked. I got choked up twice, but I did not cry. This book cuts deep. At its core, it's a love story that transpires across a decade. This book is the epitome of right person, wrong time. It's certainly not your average push and pull, will they, won't they romance. This is a book that tells you with the quote chosen to open the book that this one is going to burn, not unlike whiskey. The point is reiterated in the prologue, in the first chapter, and with every cutting line beyond. A Love Letter to Whiskey is about Brix, who goes by just B, and Jamie. And in the first chapter, we open to B and her best friend Jenna jogging at a park. B literally runs into Jamie. She's instantly smitten, but he notices Jenna first. The book starts out in South Florida, and it won't let you forget that. You may recall this is a negative for me. As B and Jenna are in their junior year and Jamie his senior year. As Jenna and Jamie continue to see each other and Jamie and B become friends, the feelings have not faded. Now, I'm sure based on the synopsis and what I've said so far, you may be able to glean that Jamie and B are our main players. We follow them through their many stages of life as they meet, come together, and ultimately separate again and again and again for many reasons. This book has a way of reminding you of your teenage years, of your first love, of your first heartbreak, and everything in between. It hurts you and you let it. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't say that I don't think this specific special edition was for me, as I had never read the book before. This book contains the original A Love Letter to Whiskey, as well as its semi-sequel 1.5, as Goodreads has dubbed it. I think if I had read A Love Letter to Whiskey separate from 1.5 years ago when it came out, I would have gotten more out of 1.5, but I read them straight. I read the book cover to cover, cover to cover. And thus, when I got to 1.5, it really just felt like I was reading the same story over. Initially, I was a little afraid that this would hinder my enjoyment of the book overall. I slogged through the second half for sure, but I did not let that hinder me and my enjoyment of this heartbreaking, beautiful, painful novel. 4.5 stars. It could have been 5. I feel like it could have been 5 if the ending that was at the end of 1.5 was actually just at the end of 1 and we didn't have to reread the same book twice. I think it could have been a 5, maybe even a 6. This book, it has been a couple days since I finished this book, and I want to read it again. I want to reread it again. I want to listen to the audiobook. I want to read it on Kindle. I want to read it in every format that has ever been written. This book was the perfect start to 2026 for me. No notes except for what I noted. Anyways, it's a little hot in here, so I'm going to turn the air on. I've turned the air off so that you can hear me, but I'm going to turn the air on, take my jacket off, and take a shower. But if you have not read this book, I think you should. And it tells you on the front, on the back, on the prologue, on the first chapter, in every sentence there is throughout the book, that this is not going to be an easy happily ever after. And it's not easy. But this book is worth it. And I believe I've read a couple by Candy Steiner in the past. And I believe Candy Steiner became an author with this book. This stunning, beautiful, gorgeous special edition of A Love Letter to Whiskey. The perfect first read of 2026. And I'm eager to see after this book what other 4.5 stars, potentially 5 stars I can find in the year of 2026. Let me know in the comments down below, what was your first read of 2026? Did you give it a high rating? Would you recommend it? Should I read it? Because I think that if you have not read this one, you very much absolutely should. I will see you in another video very soon.